it's affordable, and containerization and global sourcing of like really inexpensive goods like socks is affordable because we externalize the costs. We're not actually paying the true cost. So you have, I mentioned the emissions of cargo vessels that haul most of our goods, right, around the globe. Well, there's also the carbon cost that they emit. Now, if the cargo fleet was a country, it would be the fourth largest greenhouse gas emitter in the world. It emits more greenhouse gases than the fourth largest economy, Germany. So that tells you, you'll hear people in product manufacturing say, oh, the transportation emissions per item are minuscule. It's not the biggest part of the footprint. And that's factually true, but it kind of masks the fact that the way we get our stuff around, if you add it all up, is incredibly impactful on the environment. And that's all off the books because it all happens out in international waters. So nobody even counts it.
Nobody counts it.
It doesn't count.
It's an international
It doesn't belong
water.
to anybody.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a crazy loophole.
Yes, it is. It's the ultimate loophole. And those kinds of hidden costs are tucked away into our entire transportation system. Our cars are an environmental disaster as well as the most wasteful investment we'll ever make. You know, this is, I mean, 22 hours of the day that car isn't doing anything, but you're paying for it and maintaining it and insuring it constantly. If you had a worker that only, worked 2 hours a day, but got a full pay, you would go out of business pretty soon.
It's even less than that. It's like 10%. It'd be like they worked 10% of an 8-hour shift, which would be even less.
A disaster. Well, the car is a disaster, but we take all those costs and put them off onto, government-supported care in emergency rooms for lung disease and asthma, and we ignore the fact that we're destroying our climate and polluting our air, and it's not reflected in what we pay at the pump.
Hey, everybody, I want to take a moment to thank Audible for partnering with us on This Week in Startups. I love Audible. You all know that. And they are the greatest platform for spoken word audio products. They have over 180,000 titles in every genre. And I buy about 20, 30 audiobooks a year. In fact, I just accelerated my Audible Platinum program to start 6 months early because I've been consuming so many books while I commute up and down the peninsula here in San Francisco. But unlike other streaming services, you own your own books. That's critical. You want to own your own books. And Whisper Sync lets you sync them between your Audible account and your Kindle. You can read at any time in the car. You're always synced up. That's one of the things I love because I have 2 phones, an iPad, and a desktop where I listen to books. I've been listening to this great book, and it's my pick of the week. It's called A Guide to the Good Life, and it's by William Irvine. And the subtitle is The Ancient Art of Stoic Joy. And I read this because it goes through Stoicism, which is a school of philosophy, and you're like, hey, this is a startup thing here. Why would you be talking about Stoicism? Stoicism is a great thing to understand for when you're going through startup challenges. You can really figure out what it is that's triggering you and making you emotional and making you incapacitated, and you can start to appreciate what's going on in your life. I absolutely think that this book, A Guide to the Good Life, The Ancient Art of Stoic Joy, is going to be appreciated by founders and other people who are having maybe a little chaos in their life or emotional situations. You may not become a Stoic, to be honest, but you may feel really good that you've been informed about the concept of Stoicism. You know, some of the other Audible books I've talked about, Creativity Inc. By Ed Catmull. He was just on the program and he was amazing. Decide to Play Great Poker. I talked about that from Annie Duke. Smarter, Faster, Better by Charles Duhigg. I mean, there's just The Man Who Knew Affinity was a great one. So many great books on Audible. Here's your special offer. Go to audible.com/twist, audible.com/TWIST. This Week in Startups, right? Pretty clever. And you'll get a 30-day trial membership. You can download my book of the week for free, A Guide to the Good Life, The Ancient Art of Stoic Joy. Go ahead and get that right now. Audible.com/twist, audible.com/twist, and improve your mental state and your philosophy and grinding it out with startups. Stoicism, I find it very helpful for me. I really appreciate what I have. So go ahead and go to audible.com/twist, audible.com/twist. And I just want to say thank you to Audible. You guys know I've been a fan of the product forever, and it means a lot that literally every year Audible supports This Week in Startups. You don't have to. I know Audible is doing great. You don't need to be involved in these tiny little podcasts, but you do. You support us. I think it's a recognition that we put great content out in the world. And I know that you guys put a lot of effort over at Audible to putting great content on there. So all the folks over at Audible, thank you for just making the product better and better and better. The product's gotten great. I listened to that New York Times update. I give you a free New York Times update. It's great. And the channel feature is great. There's a lot of great content on Audible. Go ahead and get in there, audible.com/twist. I could talk about them for days. It's such a great product. Okay, thanks, Audible.